Hey my tarot people, it's Vanessa, your Deep Desert Oracle. It's been a minute since my last video. I want to apologize for that. Life got very lifelike. It started lifing out all over the place, and I just have a newfound respect for content creators, especially tarot folks who are able to weather all of that and still keep making videos. It's really, really impressive. I fell off the wagon completely. Please pardonnez-moi, but I'm here, I'm back home, I'm settled in, I've got my tarot space back into somewhat functioning order. There was a lot to get done before I could even have the space to make any more tarot videos, but I did that stuff, so I'm here. Hello. After my trip, I didn't work the whole time, so I didn't have any income for the duration of the trip, and it was really tricky and hard. And it inspired me to do a thrift finds haul for the whole month. And this is going to be the decks part. I'm going to do a thrift haul of tarot books that I found in recycled bookshops, used bookshops, secondhand, thrift stores, you name it. And I'm still deciding if that's going to be a part of this video or be its own little creation. We shall see. This is what we're going to get into today. We're going to look at the new chapter tarot. We're going to look at Voyager, Osho Zen Tarot, I'm sure you guys have seen, and also the soul cards, soul cards 1. So I can't wait to get cracking in. Let me know if you have any of these decks, and let me know what you think. You know what? I'm gonna cheat a little bit and actually share. Yeah, am I gonna do that? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And share my Modern Witch Tarot as part of this as well, because this was a find at a used store. It doesn't technically, it was last month or the month before, but I got it at such a good price. I wish that I had left the sticker on it, but I didn't know it was going to be in a video. So I know you've probably seen this before, but maybe you haven't. Maybe this will be your first time seeing it. But I did pick that up used, so technically it fits the bill. Okay, on my first trip to Recycle Bookshop in San Jose, California, I found the Ink Witch Tarot, and I found this new chapter tarot, and I grabbed this so fast, and I actually put it on hold because I had only brought like my ID with me. I'd only gone out for a coffee. I had my phone. I didn't have my Apple Pay set up. It was whatever, who cares? Not interesting. What is interesting is that I put it on hold and I came back that night for it because I had been eyeballing this. It's a Liminal 11 deck. It's from, as you can see, Catherine Briggs. I've been eyeballing it on their website, and I don't know what my deal is, but I hate paying shipping. It just drives me crazy. And if I can't find an online retailer who has free shipping, I get really weird. And you know, Liminal 11 is based in the UK, so, you know, you're not going to get free shipping from them. And so I was just waiting and thinking about it and mulling it over. And I found this used copy at Recycled Books in San Jose. And as you can see, it was $14.99 plus tax, and I got to take it home in my hot little hands. It's in really good shape. It's one of the better, one of the better used decks I've gotten, really, as far as, you know, use, wear and tear. Interestingly, in all the pictures I've seen of this deck, I have not seen that it, it's over here. I have not seen, so it's got the Liminal 11 packaging, you know, the bottom magnetic closure, which I'm still not sure. I'm on the fence about this packaging. It is fun. I do admit that it's fun. No one wants to see a barcode, right? So in none of the photos that I've seen of this deck is there pink edging. And this looks like maybe a project that someone took on. can see some of the ink is faded in certain parts. I'm pretty sure someone edged this deck. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Please tell me. But I mean, that looks like a well done home job to me. And there's also some like bleeding of the pink onto the white border of the card. This did not deter me in the least. In fact, I think I love it even more because of it. It just feels like it got some attention, it got some love, and I am such a pink kid. I love it. So I'm in for the ride. Now this deck, when I looked through it, I was like, oh, this is very much, because when I looked at it online, I didn't read too much about it. I just looked at the artwork and I thought it was really intriguing and really beautiful. And when I looked through it in person for the first time, I thought, oh, this is like a Thoth RWS mashup. That's what this is. This is the love child of the two systems. It really feels that way to me. And, you know, you get that kind of metallic industrial feel of some of the cards, like that severity of a Thoth deck, the order and design, and the color schemes too feels very Thothy sometimes. You've also got the titles Princess and Prince, and you've got discs, so you know there's definite Thoth influence. And when I did read a little bit about the deck, it was confirmed that this is a Thoth influenced deck, but it's not without, oh, I love this King of Discs. He's sitting on a tortoise. But it's not without RWS influence as well. And a lot of people will say you can't mix the two. And I get it. I get why you would think that. I might even think that, just depending on the day, depending on the hour. But if there's a deck that I've seen do it successfully, this is so beautiful. Can you even? Because I can't. Yeah, if there's a successful kind of mixture of the two, I'd say this has been the most successful that I've seen. And you get some like more modern depictions of the characters in the cards. People wearing glasses, people looking like someone you might see today, clothing looking modern. It'll kind of sneak in, it gives you pops of that. And it doesn't feel inconsistent when it happens. It feels cohesive, it feels natural to the world that it builds. It feels right. I think the more modern figures are at home in this deck, even though there's some super spectacular, like outside of time and space type of figures as well. So yeah, this is just so Thothy, right? The Thothy pips. You don't get the keywords on the cards that you get in the Thoth deck. Oh, and I love seeing an older, especially an older woman represented. I mean, the choice to have an older woman depicted in the Empress card is bold, 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 and I will take it. I love it. I love the idea that you are still fecund and fertile and productive and creative, and full of nurturance and ability to make and grow and support in your later years as a woman. Of course, why not? Fertility is not just about having babies, right? Right. I really like this Knight of Cups quite a lot. She's got a really strong Joan of Arc suggestion, feel. Yeah, that's nice. It's interesting too, these two horses behind her give me a very chariot kind of callback, call to. And I love this Fool card. I think, oh my gosh, this is one of the more, how do I put this, respectable and stately Fool cards I've ever seen. It's not just like a jester leaping off a cliff looking really goofy, and I'm glad for that. So again, I'm going to try really hard not to do a full walkthrough of each of these decks, but I can't promise anything. You all are just going to have to hang in with me if you want. Click. Oh, I love this 10 of discs. So it's a 10 of pentacles. So there are, I think, 1 or 2 extras in this. So one is gratitude. I love this really symmetrical, really overlapping, geometric kind of cycles upon cycles upon cycles, touching and influencing each other. Six of Wands. I will say for these that the cardstock, well, quite nice, and I think these will hold up over the years, and I'm happy about that. Oh, invocation. That's the other extra. So it's gratitude and invocation, and I'll hold them next to each other for just a moment, and you can take a look at them. They're really beautiful. Yeah, as I was saying, cardstock. They are really sturdy. They're really strong. They're thick. Not distractingly thick, but I will say that the whatever coating they have on them, while matte, is also kind of sticky. So the cards are sticking together. They get really clumpy, and that's a bummer. I love this 4 of Wands. I love it. I mean, I would talk about it, but, you know, maybe I'll save that for a walkthrough. I'm on a learning curve with this, so thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me, and let me know if you want to see a walkthrough of this deck, or if you have it, and how you use it, and what you think. I think this could be, I know everybody's super into doing seasonal decks. I don't really do that very much. I think I'm a mood season. My seasons are my moods. I'm a Cancer, so, you know, what are you gonna do? It's not to say that some decks feel really, really wrong, like at the pitch of summer. I'm not gonna use, like, I don't know, my Dark Days Tarot, you know, on a bright sunny day probably. But if it's a dark moon time, I might use it even though it's summertime. I don't know, I'm not too married to any dogmatic or like aesthetic stuff when it comes to what cards to use during what seasons. I respect it and I get it, but I don't do it. So you can hear a lot of dog paws in the back too. One of my big life news, big changes that's happened since last we spoke is that we've adopted a little dachshund from the shelter out here where I'm living now in Arizona, and he is simply delightful. And he doesn't know what I'm doing right now, so he's like checking up on me quite a bit. He's my little shadow. Gosh, this is a beautiful death card. Ace of Swords and Ace of Discs. I just love the really pleasing, decorative, intricate aces of Thoth-inspired decks. They just make me really happy. This 6 of Discs is also so cute and sweet. So it's a 6 of Pentacles. I'd love to read more about it, but just looking at it pleases me quite a bit and would be such a cute tattoo, but you know. This Hermit being bigger than the Mountain really gets me going too. Every time I go through this deck, I just want to do a reading. I just want to. So, yes, look at this. I think this is where we started, yeah. So you've seen all the cards now in the New Chapter Tarot. I'd love to show you this little booklet because I think it's so well done. Liminal 11's books, I mean, knock-on book that they never change, because this is so delightful, charming. It just makes me think of like the little golden books that I used to read as a kid, and the way they organize the inside with the full color illustration for all of the majors, and then you usually get some just little kind of inlays of certain cards in the pips or in the minors. This looks like a walnut brain. It's just really, really, see? So you get like some figures from these minors, just kind of interspersed throughout. But you get a good amount of text on each. This for me is the sweet spot of like just amount of information. So let's read together what the extras are about in this deck, shall we? Oh, I want to say too, before we do that, look at this, is so beautiful, that there's a wonderful foreword in this deck from someone that we all know and love. The foreword is from Rachel Pollack, and I don't know, we just lost her, and finding this after that just made me feel like, I don't know, it just made me feel good. It's like finding a note from someone you love after they've gone, you know? And I love that she talks about the Thoth deck here. So you get that, which is fantastic. You also get an introduction from the creator of the deck, from Catherine Briggs. And she just talks about the huge change that was happening in her life, why it's called New Chapter. It was a new chapter in her life after a divorce, after a long marriage. And I just really like that personal touch, and getting a sense of, you know, the artist's vision for the deck can help you really tap into the energy of the deck. Of course, with use, you'll kind of get what it's there to do with you, but it's nice to have that starting point. So let's read those extra cards and see what they're all about. Can't find it. Where is it? License. Oh, I found it. Ta-da! I'm sure people who have this deck were like screaming, it's there, just keep looking. Okay, so let's pick one. Let's go with Invocation. Take a moment to clarify your intentions. This is a call to connect with your guides. Reach out to the guardian of the first threshold. They will test your I almost said text. That's where I'm at. They will test your resolve and worthiness to cross over. Ooh. Intimidating at first, the guardian nonetheless holds your best interests and inner growth at heart. Magic is all around us, and we only need to tap into it. So open yourself to receive guidance and wisdom. And then she's got a reversed write-up. Trust yourself, quiet the self-doubt that threatens to overwhelm. Hi. I know a little thing about that. Heed your inner wisdom and voice and connect with your intuition. Remember that you don't need to depend so fully on external validation. Here, you will encounter the guardian of the second threshold, who demands that you put all you have learned to use in order to cross. You have everything you need, so face this crossing head on. That's really beautiful. I will take that. We've got a little history of cartomancy. The idea that there's no purely good or bad cards. Yes, yes, yes. I've been talking a lot about this on a Reddit forum. Yeah. The tarot doesn't deal in binaries. Rather, it deals in the experience of being human, our hopes and disappointments, ideals and shortcomings, joys and anxieties. Very nice. And here are the spreads. So you get a 4-card spread, direction, where you're going, how to get there, what will happen, how to navigate it. It's always nice. Ooh, and a Hecate at the Crossroads spread. Yes, I saw this and I was like, hello. Okay, So the first card is Hokate. Okay. At the base, card number 2, what you need to leave behind. Card number 3, the left fork, what you must face and resolve. Card number 4, the right fork, what you will gain from this decision. And card number 5, the light, what's pulling you forward. That's really beautiful. Okay, I'm going to do that spread. Balanced life. This is a much larger spread. We've got 11 cards there. I'm not going to read it all to you because nope. And crossing the threshold. Invocation, wisdom, power, self, consciousness, past self, and the becoming self. I feel like that's one of the biggest questions I have every single day, and that clients really are getting at. They might be asking, like, will I find love? But really what they want to know is who they're becoming, you know? Beautiful spreads, beautiful deck, such a steal. I can finally take the price tag off because, well, I'm not going to do that on camera. I've been saving it on this so that I could do this video. My next steps will be, of course, to cleanse and consecrate the deck. I never was into doing interview spreads. I don't know why not. Just wasn't. Until maybe like 6 months ago. And now that I've started doing them, I love them. I can't get over them. Cannot stop. Okay. So, in the same trip as the new Chapter Tarot, at the same store, these also got put on hold. Now, this is a deck I never thought I'd be interested in. Just never. I saw them for the first time. Suggested to me on Amazon, I think. Some algorithm suggested them somewhere. Now this box, okay. Hello, $13.99. Yes, pretty good shape. No rips, no tears on the box. But this is my thing, like, I feel every time I take them out like I'm doing it wrong. And they do that a lot, that scritch. As they slide around. And then you have like a completely disemboweled box that you have to, I don't know. I'm gonna house these in a bag. And I don't really do that either. So, soul cards, you are challenging me and giving me so many firsts that I never thought I'd have. Thank you. So now you've pulled it out, and then you have this little envelope, kind of almost like an index card holder. And here you have the cards. These are the backs. Suggested to me on an algorithm. And then I saw Lisa Papez talking about them because she loves them. And I was like, Lisa, girl, I do not think those will ever be on my shopping list. I'm sorry, but no way. Sorry, iced coffee time. Just everything about them seemed a little like new agey and creepy. And look how they're like a mirror. You can see my face. Hello, hello. I gotta figure out a way to film these so that you're not staring at my camera and me. How's this? Does this kind of work? A little bit? Yeah, we're gonna try this. Okay. Now, when I saw these at the store, you know, used, I was like very intrigued. I thought the only way I would ever get these is if I was getting a bargain on them or somebody gave them to me, because they feel super just new agey to me, and they're not titled or numbered. The people look like a hybrid alien human kind of race of beings, and I don't usually go for that so much. I like my people and my faces to be very realistic, very lovingly done, very warm, or completely abstract cartoony style. I don't like anything in between or outside of that because it can start to enter that uncanny valley place. And that's how I felt about these. Like those dome heads, those very eggy dome heads, and the like line mouths, and just the wideness of everything just made me feel uncomfortable. And when I saw these at the store, I could not put them down. I mean, like this. This is so creepy. But also you can get lost in it. There's something going on in this deck. It's just got something. And I found that once they were in my hand, I was having a physical reaction to having them in my hand. Like I couldn't put them down. It was like my hand was magnetized to them. I really like this one, even though there are heads coming out of her head, like a crown of them. I really think it's beautiful. So, yeah, not a huge fan of this, but I get it in this way, kind of. I mean, I can't wait to use them with some tarot cards. I can't wait to get to know them a little bit more and make more time for them, because I feel like it takes a few seconds to even just orient myself in the card. And then slowly it starts to kind of unfurl and open, and a connection is made. But without any of the markers that I'm used to, like a keyword, a number, an element association, some kind of obvious action. Nothing is obvious here, really, right? I find that these take me some time. And I have not made the time yet to really get into them. I just got them. So, look at this. This makes me think of an eardrum. And how hearing is really just vibration, right? It's an interpretation of vibration. So yeah, they make me work. They make me challenge my my beliefs and my biases and my judgments. And I couldn't put them down, and they were used. And so they're home with me now. And if I can find slow cards to use, or if somebody gives it to me, I will gladly accept and take those on as well and mix them up. Maybe. I have a hard time mixing decks. Do you guys mix decks? What do you do? I just backed the Liminal Tarot. Well, I backed it a while ago, but you know, the Kickstarter is still running, I believe. I think today's the last day. The day I'm filming on the 15th. I love this tree. Okay, I get why some tarot tubers have little pointers now. I might want to get one at some point. Okay, so yes. Ooh. Giving me very Hierophant, right? Sorry if you guys can see me. There's just only so much I can do about the mirror of these cards. I mean, isn't it so appropriate that they're mirrors? Yeah. So, okay. That was a beautiful find. Total steal number 2. And there's no guidebook. This is just information about using the cards with others. Writing, movement, dream incubation. Cool. That's good information. I'll take that. All right. Okay. Find number 3. I finally got an Osho Zen Tarot. I have so many friends that will be so proud to see that I have gone ahead and stopped being such a snob about this deck. Why was I a snob about this deck? Who knows? Who knows? Go back in time to like 30-year-old Vanessa living in Oakland and thinking she was too cool for the Osho Zen. Well, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. One of my really good friends, James, this was like his jam. He loved it back then. And I remember he pulled them out at a friend's house. We were having drinks and hanging out, sitting in the backyard of a friend's apartment in San Francisco. She lived in the Mission, and they had those really narrow little backyards with the high fences and tall grass, and rickety stairs to the upstairs apartment. And he pulled these out, and one of the first cards that came out was like this like screaming woman's face, and I was like, no, nope, I don't get it. I don't think I even realized that it's actually a tarot. I thought it was just an oracle for a long time. I just was very lazy. And I don't know if you guys have been through phases like that in your lives where you got really into music or film or art, and you just like latched onto a few key things and just like closed off to the rest and just didn't even become curious. Like I shunted it off like to outer space. Like it wasn't for me, it was for other people. And as I've gotten older, I've just thought that it seems very irresponsible that a card reader, who I do this professionally, not a lot, but enough to not have this deck. It's a classic. And it was $10.99, which is great. And it was in a rougher shape than the rest, you know, a little chewed up. But it just felt really well loved to me. Like somebody really had their time with it and they passed it on, and I'm so lucky because now I get to have my time with it. I also saw a pick-a-card reading from White Feather Tarot. It's just lovely. And she used this deck. And I'm not kidding. I watched that pick-a-card on my way to the bookstore the day I found this. I also got these at Recycle Books probably about a week later after my new chapter in Soul Cards haul. So I think the clerks were just cracking up at me. But I also sold some decks, so, you know, trying to keep it sane. Okay, so let's take a look at these really quickly. I'm sure you've seen them. They're not hard to find. They've been out for quite some time. I'm not going to try to sit here and teach anything about the Osho Zen. Like, it is what it is, you know? This is such a good card. Oh yeah, I saw this one that night. I swear I saw this one and I didn't like it. I also saw a lot of kids come up in these cards, and I gotta tell you, I'm not a big fan of seeing kids in tarot cards. Even like the baby in the sun card, I'm like, okay, all right, I'll let him in. But no one else. The kids in the Six of Cups and the Rider-Waite-Smith is just like, ugh. I don't have kids, so don't worry. If it were dogs or puppies, I'd be all about it. But this is beautiful. So yeah, these, oh man, this card, no thingness. I also was not like studying Buddhism at all at the time when I was younger and I was first introduced to these cards. Like not interested. Not interested. I wanted to study witchcraft and hoodoo and curanderismo and brujeria, and I wanted to get down like that, not like this. I was young and foolish, but also, you know, just young and excited about something that I just found, and I thought I knew everything, and I did, until I didn't, and then I did again. This card, yeah. So yeah, these keywords, so like this is the Five of Wands, and its keyword is totality in this system. So it is inspired by the RWS, but it also breaks with the traditions and has its own system as well, which is Zen influenced. Obviously, this is a cool card too, right? That's really beautiful. So yeah, some of the cards are, I think, held up well over the years. Some look a little dated or feel kind of cheesy to me. Not this one. This one's intense and beautiful. But you know, it doesn't mean I can't learn a lot from it. That doesn't mean it doesn't have a great perspective for me to learn from, especially as I have opened my world to Buddhist teachings. I read a lot about Tibetan Buddhism, and not necessarily Zen, but who knows? Now that I know that we are constantly changing and you cannot predict what you will or won't be into 10 years from now, you know, maybe one of these days. That's so good. This little system of diamonds with the keyword on the bottom, I know the red diamonds are wands, you know, red fire wands, pretty easy to figure out. I think these purple with the Roman numerals are majors. So that's going to be your Empress creativity. I love that. And this is an elemental card, maybe? You know, that's the elemental sign for water. But I don't, yeah, so I'll have to, and I think the gray is swords. That would make the most sense, right? Politics, yuck. And the rainbow, is the rainbow earth element? Yeah, so I feel like the little diamond system with the numbers has a lot going on, and my brain is having a hard time with it because I am an old dog and it's hard to learn new tricks, but oh, I like this a lot. My gosh. This makes me think a lot about how in traditional Chinese medicine, the relationship between wood and metal in traditional Chinese medicine, there's something about it that when wood is healthy, it should be flexible, not brittle. But I'm not going to tangentialize any further because this is just to show my thrift haul this month. Yeah, beautiful. So the cards are in really good shape. Look at this. Oh, I love it. I do. It's kind of cheesy and I love it. I like that the hair is stars. Yes, as I was saying, the cards are in really good shape. And that's what matters most to me. The outer box has done its job and protected the cards inside. This card, this is the one I saw that night too with my friends. And I thought, no. Just so snotty. No, not for me. And I'm glad I'm getting over that little, like, I don't know, hipstery kind of judgment and discrimination. It's not cool. So, okay. Yeah. We're not doing a walkthrough, Vanessa. Keep it moving. I always want to chat when I do these videos. I wish I could, like, hear back from people. And it almost makes me want to do a live, but no one would show up. Yet. Maybe someday. But I'm not at that point currently. Okay. When I got back home to Arizona from my California trip, one of the first things I did was go to my favorite used bookstore out in Flagstaff. It is called Bookman's. So all of these shwoo, soul cards, and Osho Zen. Those are all from Recycle Books. Recycle Bookstore in San Jose, California, the one on the Alameda, not the one in Campbell. So if you're local out there and if you haven't been through, please go check out their used magic books and tarot section. Check out the whole store. I mean, they have a stunning selection of used items for a steal, and it's my favorite place to go and I miss it all the time. But my favorite out here in Flagstaff is Bookman's. And Bookman's is huge. They've got like musical instruments and video games and books, and their selection of used tarot is it's pretty sparse. I go and I check it at least once a week just because you know, I have a passion in this life, and and I know what's there. I'll be like, oh, Spirit Song's still here. Oh, okay. So when I went and I saw that the Voyager Tarot was there, and I have wanted this deck, well, not that long, okay, I'll be honest. I'm like just starting to really, really appreciate collage decks. I've always been intrigued by them. I've had a couple here and there through the years that I got rehomed. But I recently got the Telesma Tarot, which I love, and I can't wait to do a walkthrough of that deck because it has just like completely commandeered my brain. I love it so much. But when I got that, I started seeing, you know, other collage decks, just taking a look around, and this one is kind of an OG. I think it's from the 70s. James Wanless, PhD, also known as Mr. Tarot. He authored a book called Strategic Intuition for the 21st Century. So, you know, he's been around. He's got a lot of credentials under his belt. And I'll show you the shape of the box. It's pretty decent, right? I was not mad at it at all. This one's from Fairwinds, and it was $17. So, you know, I know I could get these on Amazon. I know they're not like, you know, out of print or anything like that. They're around. And this edition is by no means like a collector's edition or anything like that. Yeah. This is from 2017. And the original Voyager deck, it looks like, actually was 1986. So, scratch the 70s. According to this guy, it's 1986. And it's James Wanless. And Ken Knutson gets some credit here, too. Knutson? So, I don't know. I really want to read his book because I really love the way he writes about these cards. Like, let's read this. Why not? We opened to it. Death is the law of impermanence. All things must end. Accept it. Death can occur by a natural evolutionary shedding, snake shedding its skin, letting go, snake river letting its waters flow out, or release, a falling leaf. As symbolized by the knife-like nose beak of the Scorpio-looking New Guinea spirit mask, death may be consciously invited by a cutting away of what is dead, stagnant, or oppressive. Death may sadden you, the sculpture Melancholia, but ultimately it is liberating. Death is a transformation which brings freedom and is symbolized by the open space, fresh air, and empty silence of the Dead Sea. Ooh, snap, snap, snaps. Be aware that you are being devoured by forces greater than yourself, and acknowledge the ever-present specter of death, which is symbolized by the looming spirit mask and the crayfish being eaten by the heron. Knowing that every moment may be your last forces you to live fully in the moment. The shadow or negative side of death. To fear death is not to live. You cannot live unless you are willing to die. Only by letting go can you allow life in. Otherwise, you are stiff, rigid, and upright. Really dead. Okay. See, this is what I'm talking about. That was a message. That was just like water on very dry soil over here. I really needed that, and I'm just soaking it up. Super grateful for that. So I do want to get his larger book because I think he's just got a lot of insightful things to say that I want to learn from and weave into my card reading and just my outlook, you know? So so finding it made me really happy. I grabbed it and I giggled and I was very giddy, and I showed my boyfriend and he was like, okay, cool. And that was that. So here's the deck. And we'll just do a quick flip through. They are super glossy, mirror-like, reflective. Let's see if I can get you in a little closer. That's beautiful. There's just nothing like, I'm sorry, but I'm a child of the 80s, and for me, there's nothing like walking into a place and looking at what's there for you in that moment in time and then taking it down off the shelf. This is just like consumerist soft core, I'm sorry. But taking it off the shelf and holding it and feeling your compatibility, like if you know, if you and it are humming together or not. And then enacting your will in the present moment and walking up to that cashier and saying hello, and they say hello, and they take your item and they beep, scan it, and they ask you if you want a bag, and then they slide it over to you, and now, I mean, after you pay for it, it's yours, and you get to like take it home. It's like adopting, you know, it's like, yeah. I think I do feel like my collection is like a kind of family. Obviously, if I'm running out of this place and it's on fire, I'm grabbing, you know, my human person and my canine people first, but I don't know that there's much after that. Maybe some photos, maybe some sentimental things tied into my grandma, and whatever, as many decks as I can, because they feel like family to me. And so yeah, you're just adopting a new tarot family member. Is that too much? Do you feel that way? Tell me if you do. Tell me if I'm... Well, no, just tell me if you do. So, yeah, these are in great shape. I'm really happy to have them. The keywords at the top on these bigger borders, which, by the way, I really do feel like a collage deck needs borders. I'm just going to say that right now. Take that really controversial stance. So yes, these keywords, Six of Cups, sorrow. Really? Seven of Cups, fear. Eight of Cups, stagnation. Nine of Cups, fulfillment. Okay, okay. 10 of Cups, passion. Sure. Child of Cups, feeler. I do... Okay, there's kids all over this card, and I'll have to live with that. But I do like having a keyword for court cards. I think that's really fun. Woman of Cups, rejoicer. Cute. I really like this. Man of Cups, surfer. And this whole Woman of Cups, Man of Cups thing. Sage of Cups. Ooh. So I guess it goes child, woman, man, sage. So that's very interesting. Probably hasn't aged well. I'm sure a lot of people take issue with that. I don't mind, you know, I'm okay. I can hang. And I do like to ask people I read for if they have any preferences, things that they don't want to see in a deck or do, so that I can make choices that are comfortable for the folks getting readings from me. But yes, this was the Voyager Tarot. So, last and hardly least, ooh, see, that's the thing about the thing about this box, it just really upsets me, is that if I go like this, they just come out. Sometimes you want to pick up a box and not have to be like, oh, oops. You know, this is also from Bookman's in Flagstaff. This is a deck that, you know, we've seen. There's been a lot of buzz about this deck since it came out. Is this deck from 2020? I'm not sure. It's another Liminal 11 deck. The inside of the box, so cute. It was in pretty decent shape. It was a lot dirtier when I got it. I believe it or not, this is actually after I wiped it down, cleaned it up a little bit. Again, you have this delightful hardback. Oh, I don't know. It just pleases me so much. I just want to sit down, make some tea. So yeah. Again, pretty glassy cards. You've seen this deck. You'll probably have, like, the Kickstarter edition. And these are from Lisa Sturl. This is so cute, though. Look at her shoes. Like, cute, cute, cute. Oh, look at this little dog. Okay. So this deck just makes me really happy. I feel like it's really, I think it's my favorite. I know that this might hurt tarot is like stiff competition because they occupy the same kind of space in I guess the tarot deck world right now, of being like a modernized but pretty faithful. This card. It's this card that does it for me every time. Okay, a really faithful rendition of the Rider-Waite system. And I love the way this deck does it. Like, even the color scheme, like, is the same. It's so well done. I really also love seeing people in glasses. I didn't at first. I felt like it really took me out at the moment. I mean, I wear glasses, okay? Like, everyone I love wears glasses, but for some reason it was super challenging for me to see it on cards. It just felt too real, I guess. I don't know. It pierced this, you know, the illusion of this perfect world of tarot. And I think that's good. That's good. I love to see it now. Oh, gosh, look at that. It's just so... It's just so good. And yeah, I go back. Oh, look at this Chicana on her horse. So cute. Yes. So yeah, I delight in this deck. I celebrate this deck. It's such a good deck to use if you're doing readings with clients. There's a lot of representation and just different kind of family arrangements, different kinds of... I mean, can you just stop what you're doing right now? Take a minute and go grab your Modern Witch Tarot deck and just look at the Empress and just enjoy her. Put her up on your altar. She's so good. Look at this Queen of Pentacles. She's got a bunny. I don't know. This Hermit is closing her laptop. Which is just, yeah, it's pretty good. Maybe she's opening it, I don't know. Yeah, though, I feel like it really makes the world of tarot, takes it out of that medieval, far away, other people, other time, other place, other world. Look at this. This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. And it brings it right here and right now, you know? That looks like the Bay Bridge, doesn't it? Probably is. Beautiful. So I just really enjoy this. Beautiful. This is accurate. Yeah. And seeing a phone in a tarot deck also, it's like seeing a cell phone in a dream. which I finally did for the first time recently. And that was strange. But these things are part of our world. They're part of us. They're part of how we do, just how we do in this life now. And so seeing that here is just brilliant. Brilliant. I think these are brilliant. Okay. Okay, I'm so glad I got these. I didn't think that I was going to. I thought, oh, I don't need a Rider-Waite clone. I'm good. But this is so much more than a Rider-Waite clone. So much more. It is that, but it's also its own cohesive world that tells a story, that invites you and brings you in. It's colorful. It's fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It takes itself just seriously enough so that you can too, but still laugh and enjoy it and like pull a death card and not, or a 10 of swords, and not feel like you're gonna, you know, get hit by a bus or something. So love it. That's my plug for that. And I think that's it for my thrift hauls. Thank you for joining me for this. I hope that if you enjoyed it, you will like it or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm really enjoying doing these videos. I know it took me a while to get back in here, but I've got some big plans for July. It's my birthday month, so there's going to be some hauls for sure. And also I want to start doing readings on my channel, so look out for that in July. I hope that you're all well. I send you love wherever you're at, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.